So today we're going to be getting a little festive. Class, welcome back. Mr. G here. Today we're going to be talking about another project for class. Today's project is going to be a continuation of our quilling stuff that we've been doing. Today's project is going to be over some ornament making pieces. So I've got an email a couple weeks ago from the state superintendent, not directly, it's just like a blast thing. Basically, the state here in Georgia, they do a big holiday tree. Now, I do want to encourage my students to make stuff for the state because it's good PR, it's good stuff to, make something for the state. Now, all the holiday designs I did in my sketchbook, I wanted to be as neutral to the season as possible. So something simplistic. You don't want to do something too stringent. These projects, I want to keep it light, keep it something fun. There's a snowman even on there, but I'm kind of working on how I want to finish that design up. Now, for those sketchbook designs, you're going to do 5 to 10 thumbnail sketches. Once you've done those thumbnail sketches, use a Sharpie, outline those designs on the sketchpad, because we're going to use a piece of, I use laminate because I've got a roll of laminate film left over from the school. We're going to be using that to work on top of, kind of like a cookie sheet. You want to use a thin piece of plastic, either saran wrap or even freezer paper works, but you want to make sure that you put a nice dark line on your sketchpad so you can see it easily through that layer. Now, when we're building these pieces, I'm free-forming them on top of those designs. So for this, first I start off with a base of glue. Putting some glue down on the plastic, just where that design is going to be, and then start putting in the pieces on top of that. Now, once you've built up the piece that you're going to be, it does need to dry overnight. I usually want a 12-hour cure time to my glue to make sure that everything is perfectly solid on there. Now, next morning you can come in and we can start doing the paint application. Now, for me, I'm, thrifty. So you could spray paint these objects. You could use any type of paint that would not break down the glue already. So stick to acrylic, not watercolor. I definitely wouldn't do tempera because it'll flake off. But nail polish is super easy, and using the nail polish to finish off those designs makes a really nice, funky little ornament. Now, for these pieces, you can do a couple different things. I'm still playing around with these ideas where you start off with a round kind of object first, and then you start building layers on top of the piece that you initially did. So you'll have a few layers deep. Once you have 2 of these, gluing them back to back and actually making it then a 3D ball ornament thing. They look pretty cool, a little funky, but that would work really well. Now for mine, I just did it's kind of an homage to the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. One that little bit of a green, and also it was the 60s. They used those weird pink and metallic trees. It was a thing, but I think that it looks cool and a little funky at the same time. Now, to finish these pieces off, you're gonna need a little bit of string. I had some pink yarn left over from another project I was working on, and I'm gonna double it up like so. Now, putting it through the ornament is a little difficult. So what I did is I actually used my quilling tool that I made to push it through a lot easier. So use the double up side, and we're going to set it using the quilling tool. We're just going to press the yarn through so it's through to the other side. Pull it up halfway, pull through the little loop that we have, pull that back down, and you have your ornament hanging. Now, to tie it off, 4 fingers, go around those 2 here, come through the loop, and then you pull the loop, hold the loop as you pull up with the excess slack. Now, those 4 fingers that we did initially, this gives us that perfect measurement to hang on the tree, and everything works out just fine. Take the extra slack, grab your scissors, cut off the excess, good to go. So really easy, something fun, something creative to do. And the best part is, most of this is materials that you already have at home. Again, if you watch the paper quilling video, I have a paper shredder that I use to cut all my stuff up, but a paper cutter or a pair of scissors works just fine, just the same. You're cutting those thin little strips of paper, rolling them up. Again, I make my own quill using a piece of a coat hanger. Another thing before I forget, this is a great entrepreneurial skill that the kids could do. We were surfing the net while we were talking about this in class, and the number of these that are on Etsy that are selling for buku's amounts of money. It's just really good to have out there. So if you guys want to do this as like a fundraiser, or do it like as just a way to make some extra cash during the holiday season, that's a great skill to have. Not trying to be overly religious with this. We want to do something that's just festive for the season. So as I do with most of my students, we usually do snowflakes, or we just do like a generalized tree thing. Something simple, something basic. A wreath design works just fine too. Or snowmen. You know, snowmen are always welcome around wintertime because they're fun. Hope you guys got something fun, interesting out of this class, as we always do. So let's go ahead and close out class. As always, don't forget to take care of the homework, which is like, subscribe, share, all the various platforms. Make sure you get the message out there to as many teachers and students as we possibly can. As always, if you have a question, comment, or concern, raise those hands down in the comments below. Answer those questions from my classmates. Good to hear from you guys. I always like reading your 2 cents in the comments there. And as always, I will see you guys next class. Later, guys.